These poor miners that everybody knows in Bolivia and outside of Bolivia that the miners' wages are very, very low. If they can give 1 day of salary to sustain the radio station, that means that it's important for them. And any worker, the poorest of the poor, that has sometimes a beer, can, instead of paying that beer, can give the support to the radio station if she considers that that radio station is important.
Y aquí todos nos quedamos desparramando la brasa. Y aquí todos nos quedamos desparramando la brasa.
Rap?
É o rap, né?
Rap.
É ritmo e poesia.
O rap nasceu entre os negros americanos como forma de protesto.
Vou te contar, e é com muita emoção. Nasci aqui em Belfor Roxo, dentro de um barracão. Passei por muito sufoco e nunca fui pro outro lado, porque vi que não é legal e não me dá bom resultado desde molequinho.
At 11 o'clock we opened up when we announced that we are officially on air. And there was no feeling that could ever describe it, because it felt like, I don't know, we switched on something that had never been switched on before, because the whole area was just abuzz with the surround sound effect of the station. And we had phone calls from everyone saying, no, we are getting it in one part of Soweto. Others were saying we are finding it in another part. And the more people were getting the station, the more the yard of Comrade Trevor Gold filled up. By the time 2 o'clock hit, it was almost a stampede. We had to open up the garage door, put some chairs out for people to sit and do whatever. It became like a session on its own altogether.
Abre tus ojos es una forma que nosotros los chavalos podamos expresar lo que sienten otros chavalos.
Abre tus ojos es un espacio donde tenemos la oportunidad de expresarnos, donde damos a conocer nuestros derechos.
Para realizar los reportajes que hemos sacado al aire, nosotros tuvimos que pasar primero por 10 capacitaciones, ¿verdad? En cómo hacer reportajes televisivos, con enfoque en derechos a la niñez, ¿verdad? Lo básico, todo lo que tiene que ver con televisión nos enseñaron.
Elegimos el tema, lo comentamos más que todo en el grupo, si lo queremos o no lo queremos, de qué queremos hablar, cuál va a ser nuestro enfoque.
Hacemos la entrevista de campo, y contactamos personas que tengan que ver con el tema que estamos escogiendo. Después hacemos la entrevista en cámara, visionamos y después se edita y todo eso.
Lo más difícil que me ha pasado en Abre tus ojos es cuando en las entrevistas, cuando ahora voy a hacer las entrevistas a las personas, que a veces yo les digo la pregunta, pero ellos me dicen otras cosas y no me dicen específicamente lo que yo quiero saber de esa pregunta.
I was at a low-power FM station a couple of years ago. It was unlicensed because the community wasn't served and there wasn't the possibility of getting a license. So they pitched in, got some equipment, put it up in a house, and everybody in that neighborhood listened to it. I had the opportunity to see this with my own eyes. A viewer called into the station, said, I don't know where my daughter is. Has anybody seen her? The DJ announced that. A minute later the phone rang. She's on her way home. That is the kind of diversity and localism that we're talking about.
La música que estamos escuchando era Me quedaré solo, de Amistades Peligrosas. Esta canción que estamos escuchando era para los del barrio La Vega. Bueno, vamos a seguir con más música. Vamos a...
Actually, we're WRFM Passwood, Nashville. Low power for the people.
Brown, black,
green. Wakati wa kutoa unaanza na hii, unatoa hii.
Wakati unaweka hapo unaweka
see the capital thugs got nervous because he refused to be their servant.
7, ¿no? A las 7 fue nuestro primer programa.
Buenas tardes, pueblo de Oaxaca. Soy alumna de la Escuela Niños Héroes de Chapultepec y tengo 9 años. Quiero agradecer a mis maestros y parte de mi familia que pertenece al magisterio por el esfuerzo y el compromiso que hicieron por mi estado y la niñez oaxaqueña. Gracias.
El eslogan, el Canal 9, el canal de los oaxaqueños, es una mentira. ¿Y por qué es una mentira? Porque a través de este canal jamás se ha escuchado la voz y la verdad del pueblo.
कैमरा के उन शूटिंग पन करते
Rising tide lifts all boats, but a lot of people don't have boats, and this trickle down effect doesn't quite work. You know, but we get that from a lot of politicians that this trick. We have to make our millions first, and then you'll get your slice of the pie or whatever. But that doesn't seem to happen. Whereas we kind of work from the ground up, and we say, well, you know, rising tide doesn't lift all boats. You know, and that's where we feel that. You know, being involved in community TV, it's just one way of exploring ways of bringing about access to health, education and housing in a kind of more equal way.
Yeah, I mean, we are just working on a project there at the moment with a group of Traveller women from the Cork Traveller Women's Network, and this would be an ethnic minority grouping here in Ireland. There would be somewhere around 25,000 travellers in Ireland, and for a lot of people there's still a huge amount of discrimination when it comes to housing and health, education. Very few travellers would go on to third level education. Many travellers have literacy issues. Up until recently they were actually segregated in schools, which a lot of people don't know. They actually had to be kept apart from the other children, and now that's changed, but still traveller children face a lot of isolation because they're very much stigmatised. And you know, a lot of the other children just don't want to mix with them. And this is because of the way they have been portrayed in the mainstream media over the years. Travellers have a reputation for being violent and for causing fights, and if there's ever any media about or coverage, it's usually following some kind of a fight or something. Whereas if you go downtown into Cork City on a Saturday night, there's plenty of fights from what the travellers would call the settled community ourselves, and it doesn't get the same level of reporting or the same size of the headlines. So, you know, this group, when I want to make a DVD about their culture and trying to make people understand more about who they are, and they're facing a lot of change. They are a nomadic group, and their ways of travelling around the country and going from town to town is being threatened. They're being forced out of caravans and trailers into houses.